All right, welcome. Good afternoon, true believers. You just stumbled on the Freedom to Draw Unsolved Mysteries, and you don't even know it yet, but you're going to be in the ride of your life. Today's case is a missing persons case from way back in 1988. This is a missing disappearance of a young girl, 5 years old, from Spring City, Chester County, Pennsylvania. This is near Philadelphia. And we got... This case is Lauren Marie Pico Jackson. There's some strange circumstances in this case that we're going to illuminate today as we delve into the heartbreaking story of Lauren Marie Pico Jackson. The disappearance of a 5-year-old girl back in 1988 in October. Strap yourselves in, guys. You're about to enter the Freedom to Draw Unsolved Mysteries. Alright, guys, this is the disappearance of Lauren Marie Pico Jackson. And this is what she looked like. Another picture of what she looked like and what she would look like today, guys. If she is still alive, there may be a possibility that she might be still alive. Those are pictures circa 1988. And that last picture was an age progression picture. But we usually draw what she looked like when she went disappearing. I just think that would probably help the victim's family members just to draw them the way they were when they were last seen, to jog someone's memory, if it could be jogged. I mean, that's the way my memory always gets jogged, is if someone cites a specific story from a long time ago, it will get jogged and I will remember the whole event, even if it was like 30, 40 years ago. If someone just says that right phrase, it just jogs my memory and I remember it. And that's what I'm basically doing here visually. I'm saying that right phrase visually, if you can understand that. It's kind of deep, but that's what I'm trying to do anyway. So anyway, I digress. Anyway, she's been missing since October 4th, 1988. She went missing from Spring City, Chester County, Pennsylvania. Its classification is a non-family abduction, but that may be incorrect when you get done with this video. Date of birth, September 26, 1983. Age of when she was the age of her when she went disappearing was 5 years old. Her height was 2 foot 6 inches and her weight was 34 pounds. Distinguishing characteristics: Caucasian female, brown hair, brown eyes. Lauren had surgical scars on her lower abdomen that resulted from a double hernia operation, and also has surgical scars on the roof of her mouth from an operation that was meant to fix a cleft palate. So scars on the abdomen might be really key here. It also said that she had a gait that was unusual because one foot may have been longer than the other. I believe like a club foot, it said on the missing person little vignette they had for her. It was about a minute long. A white long sleeve pullover shirt with a California raisin printed on both front and back was the last thing she was seen in. Black knit pants with an iron stain on the back. White socks and white Reebok sneakers with pink laces. And this is the NCMEC number 601776. I am not sure what that is, but it sounds important, so we'll note it. The details of the disappearance. Lauren Jackson was last seen in Spring City, Pennsylvania on October 4th, 1988. She was digging in the dirt near her mother's apartment. With other playmates. Later on, when her mother, Christina O'Donnell, went to check on the girl, she was gone. Lauren has never been seen or heard from again. One of the children that Lauren was playing with stated that he saw Lauren walking towards her mother's apartment. She was about 100 feet away from the front door at the time. Authorities and others searched the area, but no trace of Lauren was ever found. At the time of Lauren's disappearance, her father, Michael, or Mickey Jackson, was concerned for Lauren's well-being and safety while in O'Donnell's care. The area that she lived in was known for drug activity, and O'Donnell herself has been arrested for drug charges prior to Lauren's disappearance. She also admitted to substance abuse. Now, they did trace her footsteps back, and they had dogs. The scent went cold around near a Jamesway store, which wasn't far from the complex. And a witness did come forth a while later, like I think it was 30 years later. She said she was afraid that she would get backlash because she thought it may have to do with drugs, this girl's disappearance, and her mother may have something to do with it. But she said she had seen a person fitting the description of the mother, O'Donnell. Her mother's last name was O'Donnell. She said she saw a person fitting the description of Lauren Jackson, and the mother, Christina O'Donnell, was forcing her into a car, and she specifically heard Lauren Jackson saying, "No, mommy, no," yelling. And she also, Christina O'Donnell, was arrested in the past for impersonating a doctor trying to get pharmaceuticals from some kind of door-to-door scam she was doing. This was a different time. Remember, this was 1988. People could get away with scams back then. More likelihood of getting away with a scam back then as there is today. That's a better way to say it. And the place where Christina and Lauren lived was unsavory, and was notorious for drug activity. Michelle lived in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the time. Or Michael, I'm sorry, Mickey. Mickey lived in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the time, and he had plans of seeking full custody of his child. He believes that Christina was involved in Lauren's disappearance. A few months after Lauren's disappearance, a female witness came forward to state that she had seen. Okay, it was. I'm sorry, I said 34 years. I think it was 34 months. I got that wrong. So you see, you could get stuff wrong, and it impacts the case. So several months later, she came forward to state that she had seen Christina giving Lauren to an elderly couple in the parking lot of the James Way Mall at approximately 7 p.m. on October 4th. Her father believes this is what happened, possibly because Christina didn't want to care for Lauren and raise her anymore. She may have also done this because she didn't want Michael to have custody of the child. And another important thing to note was on the day of the disappearance, when Michael got word that she's missing, he came down there frantically and was pushing through the crowd trying to find Christina, and she never talked to him, never even never even acknowledged he was there amongst all the searching that was going on and all the franticness. But you would still think that the mother and the father, the biological mother and the father of the same missing girl, would put aside their differences and come together on a common goal, which is to find their kid. I mean, I would think that would happen, but that didn't happen, and that kind of speaks volumes, in my opinion. Christina maintains her innocence in her daughter's case and says there is a problem with the witness statement. However, it should be noted that Lauren was seen playing in the complex at that exact time, and witnesses also said she could have been playing out there as late as 7:15. After Lauren's disappearance, an 11-year-old girl came forward and claimed that she witnessed the girl being kidnapped by an unidentified Caucasian male. She saw this man forcing Lauren into a vehicle. And it is another important side note that Christina O'Donnell has passed away, so there will be no more information from her. And she's pretty key in this case, if you ask me. She took any information with her to the grave. Tracker dogs were used in the search for Lauren. They traced her scent away from her mother's home along Park Road to Route 724 and along there to the Vincent Motel, which is located nearly a mile away from the apartment. The dogs lost the trail after that. It's believed that Lauren either walked that way or was dragged to that location. So you have two witnesses saying different things. One saying an elderly person was past the child, and then another say a Caucasian male was seen forcing the child into a car. Which story is the truth? Or is either one of them the truth? That's the mystery. Authorities suspect that Lauren was abducted by a non-family member, as it's the only possible explanation in her case. Lauren's disappearance remains unsolved. Her mother passed away in 2011, but her father and siblings continue to seek her whereabouts. And it is important to note that the authorities say that this is still an active case, so it is not a cold case in technical speaking, but it has all the markings of a cold case. And now we're skip ahead to the article where it was featured on the show Unsolved Mysteries. That's where it first came to my attention. I'm a big Unsolved Mysteries fan. I don't know if you could tell. You might be able to tell just by the name of my show. So this article is from the Unsolved Mysteries file. Laura Marie Pico Jackson, her nickname was Rennie. She lived in East Vincent Township, Pennsylvania. The date of disappearance was October 4th, 1988. She was a minor. She was born in 83. Height 2'6", 34 pounds. She was single. She was a white female with curly light brown hair cut in a below the ear mushroom style and brown hazel eyes. Lauren had surgeries for hernia and cleft palate, which left 2 small surgical scars on her lower abdomen and surgical scars on the roof of her mouth. And that the abdomen thing is significant. You know, that is an identifying characteristic. She wore child-sized glasses fitted with rubber hooks to keep them on her face. She also wore orthopedic shoes. Like I said, one foot was slightly larger than the other one, causing her to have an unusual gait. I noted that. That's important to note too. She was last seen wearing a white long-sleeve pullover shirt with the California raisin printed on both sides. Black knit pants with an iron stain on the back, and white socks and white Reebok sneakers with pink laces. At this point, the family, I think, just wants closure. You know, this is 1988, 98, 2008, 2018, over 30 years old this case is. I mean, when she disappeared, I was in 5th grade. This is an old case. Lauren was born premature and had several birth defects and other issues, including hydrocephalus, or fluid on the brain, a double hernia, a cleft palate, an eye muscle issue, club foot, a hip dysplasia. Fortunately, she was able to overcome many of these difficulties and was relatively healthy child. Mickey describes her as caring, loving, and sweet. So that supports the mother having something to do with it, in my opinion. She was a special needs child. From it sounds like she had a lot of special needs. And does a drug addict really want to be bogged down with that? The reports say that she had a heavy drug habit. Did she have something to do with her own daughter's disappearance? This Christina O'Donnell, we may never know. She passed away in 2011. Lauren lived with Christina in Park Springs Apartments. Lauren vanished from there on October 4th, 1988. That evening, 200 rescue workers and volunteers swarmed that tiny little township. At a moment's notice, they had put their lives on hold to launch a search for her. Christina says that at the time, she was in shock. Lauren was always with her, and she thought that Lauren would come home that night, but when daylight came, she was still not home. So they said when they were searching for her, the whole community was all hands on deck. It was just an outpouring of support from everybody in the community. If people couldn't help search physically, they were making donuts and coffee and soup for the people searching. So it was just a tragedy, but it was a beautiful support coming from that tragedy. She had been missing for a number of years, and at that point everybody becomes a suspect. Christina, Lauren's parents were never married. They split in 87 when she was 4 years old, according to Mickey. He kicked Christina out of the house. According to her, she fled to a shelter for battered women. He denied that he was abusive. Following the breakup, Lauren lived with Christina. They moved to the complex in January 1988. But in September, Christina was arrested for attempting to illegally obtain prescription drugs, posing as a doctor. Apparently, you're not supposed to do that. That stuff is frowned upon. Even back in 88. Christina had called a local pharmacy pretending to be Dr. Doricher and ordered a prescription for a painkiller called propoxyphene for herself. Eventually, the pharmacist became suspicious and contacted the police, who discovered that the doctor had not seen Christina in several years. In March '89, she pleaded guilty and was sentenced to probation and a fine. She claimed she did it to help treat chronic pain from liver disorder. She also admitted to having a substance abuse problem. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Does a person with a substance abuse problem want to take care of a special needs kid who has all those problems that I had just listed? Some would say no. Did this lady pass her daughter off to extended family without telling the biological husband, biological father? Who knows what happened, guys? This is almost a wrap for this episode, guys. This is the case of Lauren Marie Pico Jackson. And it's a mystery, guys. What happened to this little girl? People still don't have the answer. But hopefully we gave you guys some tips on if you ever ran into anyone with all those characteristics that we talked about. Remember, guys, do something nice for someone, costs you nothing, and it makes everybody feel good. So peace out, true believers. Until next time, this is the Freedom to Draw Unsolved Mysteries.